Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on, working. Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
So by now we probably all seen the video on the couple that got caught having an affair allegedly at a Coldplay concert. And I really want to break this down from a licensed therapist perspective because I feel like we can take away a lot of lessons from this and we can actually build some wisdom from this interaction because as trending as it is and as everybody's talking about it, now that it's been a few days that's passed, we have a little bit more information and a little bit more context that we actually really talk about this situation, right? So allegedly, this is what happened. CEO Andy Bryan, he allegedly was caught with his head of HR, which I guess the position is the chief people officer. Never heard of that before. Maybe y'all can game me up. Never heard of a chief people officer, but that's pretty much an HR person. Kristen Cabot, and they were at a Coldplay concert and got caught hugging each other, as you see in the image here, um, during the jumbotron like kiss cam or whatever it was, right? So when, as you guys saw in the
Oh, look at
video,
these two.
as they were, as the camera came to them, they just ended up ducking. So everybody speculated, like, why did they duck and what happened and all this other stuff, right? So allegedly, he Andy, who was already married, has a family, and is also the CEO of the company they all work for. Apparently, they were all out for a company gathering, and this happened, right? So one thing I want to say and give you guys some context on this is I believe when we talk about infidelity and we talk about cheating, sometimes we don't take into context of like how comfortable people may be in doing this, right? Some folks may cheat in the dark, some folks may cheat allegedly again with them in public. And I think the interesting thing is um, for both of them, I don't think there was any real accountability there. Obviously I know these are two people that's like in the admin. There's people obviously around them and they're at a company gathering. And it kind of dawned on me as you kind of see this young lady here that's next to I forgot her position or her name, whatever it is like, is there like any real accountability nowadays for infidelity, right? Because if somebody's cheating this boldly and just out there like that, I just really wonder who are these people, who's in these people's circle, right? Because I know Andy got a lot of heat because he, obviously the CEO, he's the man, but also from the what the reports came out is that Kirsten is also Kristen is also married and has a family as well too. So what does it take for folks to be this comfortable and be this open, especially at a work gathering? Like I'm pretty sure people at work know that y'all married. Like they know you guys are together. They know that you have a husband at home, that you got a wife at home. But apparently, like the accountability for these folks is that was one thing I was thinking about is like who's in their circle? Like who's literally in their circle for them to feel this comfortable to do so? Obviously, yeah, it's embarrassing, but at the same time, you're at a concert, right? And you may not think that people aren't going to see or people aren't going to look, but I mean, it's magnified now, right? So now the whole world sees it, right? And I think this is very important when we talk about who's in your circle, especially if you're in a relationship, making sure you have people in your circle that are going to hold you accountable at least to the standards of marriage. Marriage, I feel like nowadays there's is like not as sacred. Um, Another part of this I do want to think about when we talk about marriage and infidelity is understanding which ways can you cope with infidelity in marriage? In what ways can you cope with infidelity in marriage? Because yeah, marriage is hard and marriage is difficult, right? And it may feel good to be with another woman or more men specifically, or uh, a woman may find more satisfaction in another man because obviously something at home is going on to where they don't really care about their marriage, right? It's something going on there where if they're allegedly cheating, I'm pretty sure this is if this is what's been going on, it's not the first time. Anytime I would just say, in my personal opinion, not even my professional opinion, because I don't have any stats on it, but I'm pretty sure if I found it, I probably would be able to give you guys some stats on it. Is if somebody is cheated or got caught cheating, more so, if somebody has got caught cheating, and even in the magnitude they did, or went through got um, went through the text message, whatever it may be, it's not the first time they cheated. It's not the first time they cheated, and for them to be this comfortable, I can. If I was a bet man, I can guarantee like this wasn't their first outing. This wasn't the first time they was out. This isn't their first time being together and being hugged up like this, right? Because again, if you're that comfortable, there's something going on in your marriage or something going on in your relationship to where you're using each other to cope, right? Um, and things could be like outside looking in, it could be well, like his family could have been well and things been perfect and she could have been with her person and everything been well. But there's something there in the marriage, especially when we talk about infidelity, that there's something the other person is missing, or maybe their folks are both missing. And I'm very curious to know what was really missing in their relationship to be in at the standpoint to where they felt like doing this was okay, right? And I also wanted to share this part of his apology letter because I think it's interesting how he worded it, and it gives more evidence to what I initially thought when he's talking about his apology. So in his apology, if you guys can read it, it says, "I want to acknowledge the moment that's been circulating online and the disappointment it caused. What was supposed to be a night of music and joy turned into a deep personal mistake played out on a very public stage, right?" So when he was saying that, it's like, okay, well, you guys are supposed to have fun. I'm assuming it's a company event. The only reason I'm assuming is because it seemed like from other reports, other coworkers were there. But then also, um, it seemed like they had like a really good like suite or a view or something like that. Because if you guys looked at the video, like they was up there, right? It wasn't like up there like nosebleed up there, but they're standing. There's like a glass wall in front of them. It looked like they had some really good seats. Typically, those are like, if you guys been to games or arenas, those are like prime time seat suites. Like have the probably drinks in the back, food, and all that. But he said, "I want to sincerely apologize to my wife, family, and the team at Astronomer. You deserve better from my part, me as a partner, a father, and as a leader." So this is a statement. And also, if you guys don't know, he also stepped down from CEO as well too. So there's probably gonna be another CEO that's coming in very quickly. It goes to further say this is not who I want to be or how I represent the company I helped build. I'm taking time to reflect, to take accountability, and to figure out the next steps personally and professionally. I ask for privacy as I navigate that process. I would say, Andy, take your time. Take your time, navigate whatever it is, because if this is what it is and what we all think it is, because again, allegedly, because we have to say that allegedly until we have more information on like a confession, because it sounds like the infidelity part, because infidelity doesn't necessarily mean, because we think about sexual intercourse, right? But infidelity can be on emotional levels too, right? So we don't know because he hasn't really fully said that. And I don't want to put it out there and make a speculation, because I know a lot of people making speculations, but we can draw the conclusion that obviously he's embarrassed, he did something wrong, he's trying to process. Now, further goes to say, I also want to express how troubling it is that what I should have been a private moment became a public without my consent. Okay, so this is interesting because he is saying, it's like this is a statement, but it's like one party saying, "Okay, well, I deeply sorry," and all this other stuff, but then on the other end, he's saying, "I want to express how troubling it is that what should have been a private moment became public without my consent." Um, what you do in private comes out in public. I mean, that's just the fact of the matter. What you're going to do in private is going to come out in public. And for him to say that is kind of interesting because um, you're having a private moment with another woman, but then you're mad because it came out publicly, but you're at a public event. Does that make sense? I don't think that makes sense. In my opinion, it just doesn't make sense. Um, what was supposed to be a private moment, baby, come yeah, but what you do in the dark comes to light. That's the old saying, right? It sounds so cliche, it sounds so corny to say that, but what you do in the dark comes out in the light. That's just the fact of the matter. And for him to say that, I think that's interesting because he's saying without my consent. I think there is an underline, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. I think there is an underline when you buy tickets or you buy stadium events and stuff like that. I think there is a clause in there when you buy the ticket and you agree to be recorded or whatever. I think there has to be some type of protection there. But also too, it is a public space. It is also a public space. So and further gonna say I respect artists and entertainment, but I hope that we all can think more deeply in the impact of turning someone else's lives and impact into a spectacular speculate. I don't know. Somebody might have been a typo or something. And it's kind of hard for me to read. I'm trying to read this as well. As a friend once saying, lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you, Andy. Well, Andy, the last part I will say about this, because I'm not making this to gossip, I'm not making this to, out the guy and trying to make, you know, all that stuff. I just think it's good for us to like have conversations like this because we can build wisdom, right? We can build wisdom off other people's mistakes. And if we're able to be wiser in decisions that we make, then we can have better relationships, right? So I think one takeaway from this is just literally don't use other people to cope. Don't feel as if like you found somebody and you're not dealing with what needs to be dealt with at home. Because if you're not dealing with what needs to be dealt with at home, stuff like this will happen. Literally, stuff like this will happen. So make sure you take care of your household. Make sure you take care of your own before you try to go out and do all these things with other women or other men. Um, if you can't control, or I mean, you obviously you can't control everything. You can't be there for everybody. Not necessarily be there for everybody, but you can't, have this perfect relationship. Go to counseling, figure things out. You may not need to be in a relationship. You literally may not need to be in a relationship, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine. But when it comes to stuff like this, I'm pretty sure, and this is the sad part because what did Big Sean say? He said, his mama always told him it only takes one time to mess up your whole Wikipedia. I'm pretty sure Andy was very successful, and also Kirsten as well too, because I know Andy's getting a lot of the backlash or whatnot. But I'm pretty sure he's super successful, made his way, did his thing to become as successful as he is, especially for as a CEO of a company of that at that magnitude. But when you Google his name now or you search his name, this is what's going to come up. Images like this is what's going to come up. Um, it's kind of sad because I think this is where you really have to think about things and think about just the consequence that comes with it. Because once you put yourself in these positions, this is going to be who you are. Like again, you're trying to get another job or people look you up. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, weren't you that person? Who? And they're gonna disregard all your success. They're gonna disregard all your degrees. They're gonna disregard all that. They're gonna literally just know you for this. So let's use this as an opportunity to learn, utilize borrowed wisdom. If you guys are in relationships and you go to concerts with your boo or your side thing, reconsider, reconsider before doing it, or you're out in public, or if there's something within your relationship, just make sure you're trying to heal from it, and you may not need to be in that relationship. That's just the point of the matter. I appreciate y'all for tapping and make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, do all these great things to keep this video going. Until next time, you guys take care of yourself and take care of each other. Peace.